Somewhere in Britain, a man is staring at an old photograph. There's a car in the driveway behind him, sold decades ago for next to nothing. He didn't think twice at the time. Today, that same car could buy a house. The 1960s gave Britain its golden decade of motoring. Sports cars, grand tourers, pocket rockets, all built with passion, sold for pennies, and let go without a second thought. Nobody knew what they were holding. Now collectors are paying staggering sums to bring them home. And the car at number 1? Its story will leave you speechless. Let's begin with number 10. Number 10. Triumph TR4. In 1961, Triumph unveiled the TR4, and British motoring would never look the same. Gone was the old-fashioned cutaway door of the TR3. In its place stood a sharp, modern shape penned by Italian designer Giovanni Michelotti. Ordinary working drivers fell for it instantly. It looked exotic, yet it cost a fraction of anything from Italy. Mechanics loved it too, simple, honest engineering that rarely fought back. Under the bonnet sat a tough 2.1-litre four-cylinder engine, producing around 105 horsepower. Reliable, easy to fix, and forgiving of amateur tinkering. It even offered rack and pinion steering, a rarity at the time. But here's the twist. As decades passed, TR4S became just another old Triumph. Many were sold for scrap money, traded for newer Japanese imports that didn't leak oil or rust around the sills. Today, that decision haunts former owners. Pristine TR4S now command tens of thousands of pounds, and clean survivors are getting harder to find every single year. If you sold one cheap in the 70s, you might want to sit down for what's coming next. Number 9. MGB. The MGB rolled out of Abingdon in 1962, and it would become the best-selling British sports car in history. Over 500,000 were built, a number no other UK roadster could ever match. It wasn't flashy. It was honest, affordable, and endlessly usable. Young couples, students, and weekend racers all wanted one. It promised genuine sports car thrills without the genuine sports car heartbreak, or so everyone assumed. Power came from a humble 1.8-litre engine, paired with surprisingly capable handling thanks to its modern unibody construction. Nothing exotic. Just dependable fun, mile after mile. So why did so many vanish? One word: rust. The MGB's monocoque body rotted from the inside out, especially around the sills. Many owners simply gave up rather than pay for repairs worth more than the car itself. Here's the irony. Survivors that escaped the scrapyard are now climbing steadily in value, and clean, rust-free examples are becoming genuinely scarce. Did your family ever own one? If you let yours go for scrap value, you weren't alone, but you may still feel that sting today. Number 8. Austin Healey 3000. Few cars captured raw British muscle quite like the Austin Healey 3000. Launched in 1959 and refined throughout the 60s, it quickly earned the nickname Big Healey, and it earned every letter of it. Its long bonnet and muscular stance turned heads wherever it went. This wasn't a car for the timid. It demanded confidence, and rewarded it with genuine excitement on every twisting road. Powering it was a 2.9-litre straight-six engine, eventually producing 150 horsepower in later Mark III form. Heavy, characterful, and full of low-down grunt, a world away from delicate four-cylinder rivals. So why would anyone part with such a machine? Rust, mostly. Jensen-built bodies trapped moisture in places owners couldn't see, and repair bills often exceeded the car's resale value entirely. That mistake looks very different now. Pristine Big Healeys have sold for well into six figures at auction, and good examples keep climbing higher every season. But wait until you hear what happened to the next car on our list. It's almost unbelievable. Number 7. Jensen Interceptor. Picture 1966. Jensen unveils a stunning Grand Tourer with flowing Italian styling by Touring of Italy, built by craftsmen in West Bromwich. It was unlike anything else on British roads, elegant, urgent, and unapologetically dramatic. Wealthy professionals and jet-set types loved the Interceptor's blend of English luxury and raw American muscle. Leather, walnut, and a thumping V8, it felt like nothing else in Britain at the time. That V8 was a Chrysler-sourced unit, displacing 6.3 litres and producing 325 horsepower. Effortless power, smooth and relentless, propelling a heavy GT to surprising speeds with little drama. But here's the catch nobody warned buyers about. Fuel consumption hovered around 10 miles per gallon. When fuel prices climbed through the 70s, owners simply parked their Interceptors and walked away. Today, values are finally catching up to what this car always deserved. Clean Interceptors are appreciating steadily, rewarding patient collectors who saw past the thirsty engine. Would you have kept one running, fuel costs and all? The next entry's downfall was even stranger. Number 6, Sunbeam Tiger. In 1964, Roots did something nobody expected. They squeezed a Ford V8 into the dainty Sunbeam Alpine and called it the Tiger. Carroll Shelby himself helped develop the concept, yes, the same man behind the legendary Cobra. It looked deceptively gentle, almost demure next to its American rival. But underneath that polite British bodywork lurked genuine performance, wrapped in a far more civilized, comfortable package than the brutal Cobra ever offered. The early Tiger carried a 4.3-litre Ford V8, producing 164 horsepower, enough for a 0 to 60 sprint in under 8 seconds. Modest by modern standards, thrilling by 1960s British roadster standards. Then disaster struck. Chrysler bought Roots in 1967 and refused to keep building a car powered by a rival manufacturer's engine. Production ended almost overnight, leaving owners with a car the factory had simply abandoned. Few owners back then realized how rare their Tiger would become. With barely 7,000 ever built, surviving examples now fetch remarkable sums at auction. The next car's story involves engineering so clever, it inspired one of Japan's greatest sports cars. Number 5, Lotus Elan. Colin Chapman had a problem in 1962. His previous Lotus, the Elite, was bankrupting the company. His solution became one of the most influential sports cars Britain ever produced, the Lotus Elan. It was tiny, gorgeous, and astonishingly light. Drivers adored its razor-sharp handling, while its pop-up headlights and curvy fiberglass body made it an instant symbol of swinging London glamour. Beneath that delicate shell sat a twin-cam 1.6-litre engine producing around 105 horsepower, mounted on a clever steel backbone chassis weighing barely 1,500 pounds. Few cars felt this alive on a winding road. Yet many owners grew frustrated. Notoriously fiddly electrics, chassis rust, and a reputation for fragility sent plenty of Elans into garages, never to return. Maintenance costs simply outpaced what people felt the little car was worth. Here's where it gets fascinating. Decades later, Mazda studied the Elan closely while designing the MX-5, proof that Lotus had nailed a formula worth chasing forever. Today, clean Elans command serious money, and that influence alone makes them irreplaceable. The next car practically defined an entire decade of British identity. Number 4, the Mini Cooper S. Few cars are as instantly British as the Mini Cooper S. Introduced in 1963, this pocket-sized rocket transformed Alec Isigonus's humble city car into a genuine giant killer, conquering rally stages across Europe. Everyone from factory workers to film stars wanted one. Its cheeky proportions and go-kart handling made it irresistible, while for consecutive Monte Carlo rally wins gave it serious motorsport credibility. The Cooper S used a tuned engine ranging from 970cc up to 1275cc, paired with disc brakes for genuine stopping power. Tiny dimensions, surprising pace, a combination nobody quite expected. So why would owners ever let one go? Rust, again, proved merciless. The Mini's bodywork rotted everywhere, sills, wheel arches, floor pans, and repair costs often dwarfed the car's modest second-hand value. Today, that calculation looks painfully wrong. Surviving Cooper S models regularly sell for tens of thousands, with exceptional examples pushing towards six figures. Can you imagine letting one go for a few £100s? The next two cars are where things turn genuinely jaw-dropping. Number 3, Jaguar E-type. When Jaguar unveiled the E-type at the Geneva Motor Show in 1961, the room reportedly fell silent. Enzo Ferrari himself allegedly called it the most beautiful car ever made. That's not marketing, that's history. Film stars, royalty, and rock musicians all wanted one. Its impossibly long bonnet and curved tail made it the defining shape of 1960s glamour, instantly recognizable on any street in the world. Power came from Jaguar's race-proven straight-six engine, propelling the E-type to 150 miles per hour, making it the world's fastest production car at launch, yet costing half the price of comparable rivals. So why did so many original owners eventually sell? Value stayed surprisingly low through the 70s and 80s. Reliability quirks and unfashionable styling left countless E-types neglected, rusting quietly in garages and barns. That mistake now ranks among motoring's biggest regrets. Pristine examples regularly sell for hundreds of thousands of pounds, with the rarest lightweight versions reaching millions. Would you have kept yours forever? Because what's coming next might be even harder to believe. Number 2. Aston Martin DB5. Few cars carry mystique quite like the Aston Martin DB5. Launched in 1963, it combined hand-built Italian-inspired coachwork with raw British engineering. Then James Bond happened, and everything changed forever. After Goldfinger hit cinemas in 1964, demand exploded overnight. Suddenly every aspiring gentleman wanted to feel like 007, gliding through Europe in pure, understated elegance, dripping with quiet menace. Beneath that elegant bonnet sat a 4.0-litre straight-six engine producing 282 horsepower, propelling the DB5 to 145 miles per hour, genuinely supercar territory for its era, wrapped in beautifully hand-formed aluminium bodywork. Yet despite the glamour, many original owners eventually sold theirs. Complex mechanicals meant expensive servicing, and as fashion shifted through the 70s, the DB5 briefly fell out of favor with collectors entirely. That decision now looks almost unthinkable. Standard road-going DB5s regularly sell for over £1 million today, while Bond-connected examples have shattered records entirely. But nothing prepares you for number 1. Number 1. Aston Martin DB5 GT Zagato. Some cars don't just appreciate, they become legends. Unveiled at the London Motor Show in 1960, the DB5 GT Zagato paired Aston Martin's race-bred chassis with featherweight Italian coachwork from Milan's famed Zagato workshop. Just 19 were ever built. Each one hand-formed, each one raced by legends like Jim Clark at Goodwood. Original owners knew they had something special, yet few imagined just how special it would become. Beneath that aluminium body sat a twin-plug 3.7-litre straight-six producing 314 horsepower, capable of 154 miles per hour. Every panel was shaped by hand, every component refined purely for performance. So why did any original owner ever sell? Simple, in period, it was viewed as just another expensive, demanding race car. High running costs and impractical daily use pushed several owners to quietly move them along for what felt like fair money at the time. Today, that decision looks almost incomprehensible. Surviving DB5 GT Zagatos now sell for between $10 and $15 million at auction, making it, quite simply, one of the most valuable British cars ever built. If you ever owned one of these 19 and let it go, you didn't just sell a car. You sold a piece of automotive history. 10 cars. 10 stories of regret, nostalgia, and lessons learned far too late. The pattern is always the same: values fall, owners walk away, and decades later, those same cars become untouchable treasures. Maybe your family owned one of these. Maybe you sold one yourself, never imagining what it would become. That's the cruel beauty of classic cars: hindsight always arrives too late. So tell us, which British car do you regret selling? And which one truly deserves to claim the number 1 spot? Share your story below. We read every single comment.